Zotero is a reference management software that will help you collect, organize, annotate, cite, and share your research. To get started, you'll first need to download the program to your desktop. And to do that, if you go to zotero.org, you'll see this big red download button. I'm going to click that. Zotero is recognizing that I am on a Windows machine, and it's also recognizing that I'm using the Chrome browser. So you'll need to download both of these. There's two things to install. They're separate installations. Once you get that installed, you'll have Zotero on your computer. Here's what my Zotero library looks like. I've put all of this content in my library. I've organized a lot of folders, so your library will be blank when you start. Um, it's just great for organizing content. So the first thing we'll do is we'll create a folder. In the upper left, there's a tiny folder with a green plus sign. If you click that, you get to create your folder. So I'll do that now. So now I have a new folder with nothing in it. I can click through these folders and you can see what I have in my folders. My library has everything, and if I wanted to, I could click one of these things and drag it into my folder. Now I have something in there, um, and it can be in as many folders as you want. So putting it in one folder does not take it out of another. It can be in multiple folders. So let's get some content into this EPRS 7900 folder. I have a search pulled up from the ERIC database, and because I installed that browser plugin, in the top right near the URL bar, you'll see a little folder there, and that's part of Zotero. That's there because I installed that browser plugin. Now, I could click this folder, and the list that shows up is the same list that it's my results list. Number one here is also number one in here. If I want to, in this little Zotero box, if I want to click on this, I can click as many of these as I want at a time. To add them, I just click OK, and it tells me that it's adding it to my EPRS 7900 folder in Zotero. But you notice it says there's a link to the EBSCO record. There's not a PDF there, and it's optimum when it will pull the PDF. So let me show you how to do that. This very first item, it's not going to pull the PDF because it's not right there. But if I click full text from ERIC, I'll then be taken to the ERIC database, and you can click this direct link to access the PDF. I then have to click the DOI, so it's a good bit of clicking to get to the article. But when you do see the option to download the PDF, you'll see the icon changed up here for Zotero. Now I can click that, and it did indeed pull the PDF for me. So it's just a little bit of extra clicking whenever that PDF's not right there in your results list. Let's do another one. So number 4, it is right here. So this should work just fine. When I click this title and I click my browser plugin, it should do it. It doesn't look like it's gonna though. It's supposed to when it's right there. If for some reason it ends up not pulling it, it just says snapshot. So it's just pulling a snapshot of this page. It's not actually getting that PDF for me. Maybe I'll try one more for you. The effects of offering proactive student success coaching. Let's try that. Yes, it got that one. So if something strange happens where it doesn't pull the PDF, you can always drag a PDF into Zotero as another option. So if you needed to download this, you could do that. So let me just go ahead and show you that. I do have some PDFs on my desktop. So what I could do is open my Zotero library and I can just drag these in. So I'm just going to drop it right here. So it just added the PDF and it found the bibliographic information for me as well. So I got both. It took it a second. So hopefully that was actually kind of nice for you to see that. And you can select as many of these as you want. You could do a whole bunch at one time. I'll do two. If your computer is very slow, you might not want to do too many at a time. It says it's finished, so I should have these two in there as well. I just pulled up Google Scholar and we can do a search here. No matter what website you're on or what tool you're on, it works the same way. So here's a list in Google Scholar, and then there's a folder in the upper right to add to Zotero. And then if I click on any given title, it's taking me into Sage. This one's telling me, like, it might not pull the PDF here. It might prompt me to pay. So actually what's going on here, let me go back to Google Scholar. It doesn't look like my Find It at GSU option is set up. So if you don't have that set up, you can go to the menu, click Settings, and then click Library Links, and then start typing in Georgia State University. It usually populates it. It's not really populating for me. I might have to click Search, and then I'm going to select Georgia State University, Find It at GSU, and click Save. I probably have to click that Find It at GSU option here. And now if I click Download PDF, now I can get that into my folder in Zotero. All right, so that's a couple of ways to get things in there. Also, I have a book search. It doesn't matter the format. I was just putting articles in there and you get the full text of the article. Now with a book, you're not going to get the full text of a book. It's just going to give you the bibliographic information for that book. I'm going to click this first one and it's telling me that Taylor and Francis has it. I can click the little book icon near my URL and it will show me that it's saving the book information to EPRS 7900 folder in Zotero, but it's just not saving that full text. Now, if I go to the ebook and if I were to be able to download a chapter, I want to download chapter 1. And if I did that, then I can drag this chapter into Zotero just like I did the journal articles, and I can get the content in there that way. So now that we have a good bit of content in our folder in Zotero, let's take a look at Word. I have my Word document up, and if you look in this top bar here, you'll see I'm looking for the Zotero plugin for Word, and here it is. It's right below the search bar on my computer, and so I'm going to click that to get some options for citing while I write. I'm going to start writing my amazing paper, and then I get to the point where I need a citation. I put the space in there, and then I'm going to click Add Edit Citation. Yes, I want APA 7th edition, so I'll say OK, and then this pops up. If you know the name of the author that you want to cite and it's in your library, then you just type the name of that author, and I can click enter, and I'll click enter again, and there's my in-text citation. I'm going to keep writing, and it's time for me to insert another citation. So I'll click add citation again, and this time maybe I don't remember, so I'm going to click on this classic view from this arrow down here. I'm clicking classic view, and I get to see my library. It pops up for me, so I can select the article that I want and click OK. We'll do one more, and I'll click add citation again, and I'm going to use classic again and select my article and click OK. So now when you're done writing, what you'll do is add bibliography, select this one, and it pops your bibliography into your paper for you, which is pretty fantastic. But you might have heard me mention in other tutorials that there is no citation tool that is perfect. There's a couple of things that make this imperfect. One of them is the metadata that Zotero has to pull from. So whatever database that you're using, if their metadata wasn't perfect, then Zotero can't pull it perfectly. And then part of this may be Zotero as well. We just have some limitations here in terms of having data that's perfectly available for us. So when you look at this first one, you'll notice that the title capitalization is incorrect. So what I can do is I can edit this in my library. And if you keep your library clean, then your reference list will always be clean as well. So let's go back to our library and fix this. You can search. So I know where this one is, so I can click on it. You can also do a search to pull up whatever you need in the search box here. To get this to be correct, you can click into whatever field you want to make changes. I'm going to click into the title field, and in this case, I just need to fix the capitalization. So I can right click. Oops. Let me see. Okay, so I didn't click into it. I just right clicked on it. And when I did, it gave me the sentence case option. So I just clicked it and changed it. Now, whenever I click off of this onto anything else, it auto saves that for me. So it did that for me just now. And when I go back to my Word document, I can just update this document and it will fix itself. So I'll say refresh. And then you'll see that it corrected the capitalization. And we can do that as many times as we need to. If you notice anything else wrong in your citations, then you can do it that way. Whenever you're writing in Word, you have to have your library open because it's pulling live from it. Now, when you are writing in Word, you notice I clicked add edit citation every time I needed it. So don't just type stuff in without doing that if you need to add a citation. Either code your paper or don't code your paper. Do not mix it. There's some great things about having all this coded. If I wanted to, I could change my document preferences and make this Chicago style if I wanted to, just that easily. I don't think you're going to want to, so I'll go back to APA style. But it's really nice that it's a live, living document. So if this is feeling like too much for you, there is another option that I'll show you. Also, you may need to put a page number in here or not have an author's last name. And to do that, I'm going to click the edit option, and then I clicked the citation in that came up in the search bar because I clicked it, and I can include a page number And if I want, I can omit the author. You would omit the author if you had used the author's name in the text. And then I can just click enter twice to make that change in my paper. All right, if that's all too much for you, there is another option that you can do. So I'm going to open a new document. So if you don't want to mess with that coding, another thing you can do is just select whatever. You still need these to be cleaned up first because it's not going to clean itself. But I can select several of these, and if I right click, then I can say, or I can tell it to save them. Well, oh, okay. Here it is. Create bibliography from items. I want APA style. I want a bibliography. And I am going to copy it to my clipboard. And then I'll say, okay. I'm going back to this new Word document where I don't have any coding at all. And I'm going to paste this in. And now this doesn't have any coding in it if you do it this way. So I have my citations in here. They were in order. So they're in order. And then if you want to go in and edit anything, you can just click in to edit it. You don't have to click any buttons. Let's talk about some online features. For Zotero, there is some cloud options for you. When you're in Zotero, there is an option to sync your library to the cloud. And when you do, it looks like this. So you have the cloud version. If I'm in Zotero, that little sync button is in the upper right. And I just clicked it, so it's syncing, but you can set this to auto sync. If you want to do that, then there is a limit on the amount of free cloud storage. Right now, I am only on using the free stuff. So I'm going to click this upgrade storage to show you prices. So 300 megabytes is free. If you want 2 gigs, which is probably all you would ever need, it is $20 per year. Now, if you don't need the cloud, then you can use Zotero as much as you want for as long as you want for free. But the cloud allows you to be on various computers and to keep or devices and to keep your account, your library up to date with however you're doing research. It can also help you when you're collaborating with people. You can create groups online and share documents. So I'll show you how to create groups if you're working on like a class project. So I just clicked on the groups tab. I'll create a new group for EPRS 7900. And I'm going to do the private membership, and then I'll create my group. And any group member can read, any group member can edit and file edit. So I'll save my settings, and then there it is. And if I want to invite people to be in this group, I can send some invitations out, and you just put their email addresses in there, or Zotero usernames. I've never done it that way. I always did email addresses to invite members. And that way you can work on projects together and each have access to that folder. You can do a lot more with Zotero, but I hope that gets you started. Please let me know if you have any questions about Zotero. We can email back and forth or meet online or meet face to face.